Sir Keir Starmer's representative was subjected to questioning this evening. A Labour MP was left squirming during this week's BBC Question Time. Cabinet Office Minister Nick Thomas-Symonds appeared on the BBC topical debate show on Thursday alongside General Sir Nick Carter, and was pressed on the government's spending on the military. He insisted that Sir Keir Starmer would set out a path to spending 2.5% of GDP on defence in the spring. Mr. Thomas-Symonds also mentioned a strategic defence review being led by Lord Robertson, a former Secretary-General of NATO, which is examining threats, the UK's defence capabilities, and the overall state of the country's armed forces. But BBC Question Time host Fiona Bruce interjected, pointing out that Sir Nick was laughing. The former military chief said, "Well, I've never seen a defence review succeed if it is out of sync with the comprehensive spending review." To reassure Sir Nick, Mr. Thomas-Symonds pointed out that the comprehensive spending review, which will set resource or day-to-day departmental budgets across the whole of Whitehall, is coming in June. Today's edition of Question Time was a special episode focused on Vladimir Putin's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, and peace talks between the US and Russia. The panelists in today's episode also included Donald Trump campaign advisor Jan Halper Hayes. Alongside were Ukrainian politician Lesia Vasilenko and former Conservative Ben Wallace, who spent 5 years as the UK's Defence Secretary. Mr. Wallace said Sir Keir must increase the UK's defence spending, and earlier this week accused Mr. Trump of echoing propaganda lines from the Kremlin. He told LBC, "Well, I know Mar-a-Lago is quite close to Disney World, but that was pure Disney in both sort of facts and reality." And I think what you were actually hearing is Donald Trump's realization that if you don't have skin in the game, you don't get a say, as much as you think you do. I mean, I saw them all sitting around that table in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. He added, "I'm sure they did a lot of interesting things in 4 hours. But fundamentally, if you want to get a peace deal in Ukraine, you're going to need the people who are going to have to put skin in the game to make it happen." On today's show, Mr. Wallace said that the UK must listen to warnings issued by multiple US administrations and take a greater share in our responsibility of keeping ourselves safe and secure and defending our values. Sir Keir is in the hot seat, Mr. Wallace added, and he needs to reassign money from elsewhere in an effort to increase the amount of GDP assigned to defence. To lead is to choose.